everyone, it's Julia with Senior Susie Stamps, and I'm so glad you're here today. I got the cutest Christmas card in the mail from Australia from a friend of mine through our YouTube channel, and she sent me some absolutely adorable paper. And so I thought, well, I'll just make a real quick card out of that. So that's what we're going to do today. And here's the paper, and is it not adorable? I love these little guys. They are just precious. And I happen to have a scrap of blue lightweight cardstock. And I think I got this out of maybe some Astra Bright paper, if I'm not mistaken. I have no idea, actually. But I backed this piece with some of that blue. And so then I thought I would just put it up on a regular card base. And then I thought, well, that's a little plain and simple, isn't it? But let's get started with that and just see where we can go with this. Because I think there are some easy, simple ways to elevate a very simple little card. And the reason I was thinking about this is because I'm not quite sure that I have enough Christmas cards this year. So I was thinking it would be fun to pull out a few scraps of paper and just make some card blanks like this. And then if I need them, I need them. And if I don't, I'll just put them back in my box for next year. And that would be fun. So now we have this little card. And I got my Merry Christmas sentiment stamps out because I thought maybe some blue ink would be nice with this. And I didn't have any in my sentiment notebook. So I went ahead and stamped this off on some scrap of that blue paper. And then I fussy cut it out. I've already got ink all over my fingers. It's crazy around here this time of year. And you could put that down flat on this card and it would be fine. But I have chosen to elevate it up with just a little bit of foam. And that's the first thing. Well, actually it's the second thing, because putting this layer back behind is number one. And then number two, to elevate this card up just a tiny bit more, I have elevated the sentiment, and I have fussy cut it to give it just a little bit of interest. So there's that step. And then I thought, well, that's nice, and it's a cute card, and I'd be delighted to receive something like this. Now, we can either put some bling on this, or we can do some pen work. And I thought today it might kind of be fun to do just a little bit of pen work on this. And I've chosen a Jelly Roll number 10. It's a little heavier weight white pen than what we looked at a couple of weeks ago with the Jelly Roll 8. And then I have my favorite gold pen, which is the Uniball Signo Broad Tip Gold. And this is a fabulous pen. I don't remember where I got it, but I probably got it from Amazon, and it's just gold, Uniball Signo. So I'm going to add some little white snowflakes in here in the form of a white dot. And they won't show up very well right now, but that's okay. What we're going to do in just a second will make them show up a lot better. So this is just a very simple way to add just a little bit more to a card when you want just something simple and quick to use if you might need it. We're going to add some additional little snowdrops in here just for a little more interest in the card. I'll probably go back and make these little snowdrops just a little bit bigger. I'm having trouble seeing them myself, so don't feel bad if you can't see them in the camera. And then we're going to go back in with our gold pen right now and outline some of these and see how they look. Because adding that little bit of gold around the white, now our little snowflakes suddenly become a little item of interest on our card, and we're not adding any dimension. This is something you can do very easily in just a few little seconds. Really no more time than it takes to add some glue and a little bling to your card. So here we are. And then I think I'll go back and do my little star. This stamp has a little star on it in gold. And now I'm thinking, well, that looks a little better, but I think I'll add something around the outside here in my gold pen. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm just going to drag a gold line all the way around this card and bring it all the way to the edge and come back in with another gold line and go all the way around, and then we'll see what we think. And so now all of a sudden this very plain, simple little card with delightful DSP on it has become something a little more elevated. Now, to my mind, I like that, but I think it needs a second gold line, don't you? Let's add one. And I missed a little snowflake right there, so I'm going to add him back in. And I'm just going to intentionally relax my hand and just drag on down through this. And if I miss a little spot here and there, I'm going to go back and add some, just to add a little more shine to this card in a freeform style. And there's another little snowflake I missed, and there's another one. It's amazing when you turn your card around how much more you can see. So this is a very simple way to elevate your card in the last minutes of Christmas card making. Now I want to go back in where some of these intersect and add my little squiggly do that I want to show up on this card. And it just adds just yet a little bit more gold to the look of it. And I'm just doing a little squiggly, just a little curly cue like you would with a curly cued ribbon. And that's all that's going to be on this card then. One more maybe right here, and maybe one right there. There we go. And here's one I need over here. Okay, so there it is. And so now we've taken a very simple little card that took all of about 5 minutes to make, added just a tiny little bit of pen work to it, and we've got something that looks a little more festive. And here's the first one I made because she sent me a scrap large enough to make 2 cards. So now I have 2 cards in reserve in case I run short on my count for Christmas cards this year. What you can do to elevate your card is to put something on the inside of it. And I have found this little, I have no idea where this came from. I think it was a little gift that somebody sent to me, but it has a little penguin in it, and I think it's adorable. So I'm going to put a little penguin on the inside of these little cards. I just want to have something to go on the inside. And finally, before we look at the rest of these that I wanted to show you today, let's try to elevate the envelope. And I found another penguin stamp. So I stamped these with the little penguin, and that's a Hero Arts set. I have no idea where this came from either, but it's called Penguin Thank You, CL128, in case you're interested. But it has this adorable penguin and the hat and the little bow tie. So I put his hat on, and then I put some little motion marks on the top of it to act like his hat was flying off. And here he is, colored up very similarly to the little penguin on my card. So that finishes this little simple one piece of sheet of paper card and makes it into something a little more festive and fancy to send out as a last minute card. One thing I do want to mention about these kinds of coloring on your envelopes is I usually put a little piece of scratch paper down in before I color, and that way the ink won't bleed through to the back of your envelope. So I wanted to show you some additional envelope ideas because I think some cards just really need a little extra oomph to help push them up over the top. And so I have my little stack of Christmas cards here that I'm getting ready to address and put in the mail this weekend. And so I wanted to show you the envelopes and the card. Now this is some paper that I designed recently in Canva, and so I decided to do a little stenciled tree on it, and I just did a little yellow swirl on the top of that one, and I did another one for the second card. Let me get these out of here. I can't function with all this stuff here. This is the rest of that paper that I designed in Canva recently, and it's a double Z fold card, which is kind of over the top anyway, and I thought, well, it would be nice to do something for the outside. And while I was making this envelope, I thought I would just make two, and then I have one for this card as well. Let me keep trying to move these out. Now this is a card that I made several years ago, and it uses a two-step stamp from Stampin' Up! In this ornament and in the little packages here. And so on the outside of that one, I pulled that stamp back out and did the envelope with part of what was on the front of the card. On this one, and I don't remember what this particular card layout is called. It's called a trifold hidden door card. And I found that on Delight of My Art YouTube channel. So I made a card out of it, and then I decided to do just some snowflakes on the outside of the envelope to send with this card. Now this card I made in a YouTube video, and I decided I would use a little stamp that has some ivy and some little red berries on the front of it. I thought it went nicely with that card. And here's the other one like that. Now I made a little poinsettia out of some paper, and so I put a poinsettia on the outside of this envelope. I wasn't really thrilled with that two-step, the way it turned out, but it's good enough for this year. I've been really kind of pushed this year. This is some paper that I designed in Canva, and so I did the same thing for all of these cards. I just put the poinsettia on the outside since it was a poinsettia card. The way I decide how to do this is I sort my cards by theme, and then I try to pull a stamp or make a stencil or something for the outside that is similar to what you'll see on the inside. So this one's a Christmas tree card, and so I did Christmas tree stencil, and the same with this one. Looks like I have several here. Let's just go through those quickly. These little ones that I did the hand cut on the Christmas tree, I did a hand cut stencil and did the same thing, and I used two different colors of ink on these. This one goes with just the plain white one, and this one goes with the one with the gold on it, and this one goes with another green one, and this is one that I did with some drywall tape earlier in the year. And this is a die cut stencil, and then I went back in with a blue alcohol marker and just did some very light blue dots on the outside, and this is the card that goes with it. Let's see what else I have here. We're almost down to the end. This is the same one. And here's another one with a little different coloration. I used a kind of a lemon lime color and turquoise on this one for this card. And this one. Now on this one, I used a stamp, and it's, I don't know. It's called Embossing Arts Sweet Home Oregon, looks like. Embossing Arts is the brand on it, I think. But anyway, that's the stamp, and then I just used my yellow pen and a little bit of the blue on it just to emphasize the snowdrops a little bit, and that goes on this card. So you can see the things that I have made on the envelope just kind of resemble vaguely what's in the card, because of course I've already put all these supplies away because I didn't get my envelopes made at the same time I was making cards this year. Here's my little penguins, and probably if I had found my little penguin stamps before I did just the snowdrop or snowflakes on these envelopes, I might have added them instead. But these little snowflakes have a little blue pen in a really light blue color, light turquoise, and they go perfectly with both of these little designer paper cards that I made. And it just elevates the card up just a little bit more from just a basic white envelope. So that's some quick and easy ways to elevate your cards up just a touch more before you send them out this year. And I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everybody.